to the show, everyone. We did 100% uptime 2 days in a row. I don't think you're supposed to do that, but we did it. And it's also not the weekend, which was the original plan for 100% uptime episodes, but it's also not that. So I'm changing. I created it. I can change it. I can change the schedule a bit. Welcome again to the RHMax channel. I'm Max, your host, your hostess with the mostest WAATSA NFTs to give away today. It sounds like such a scam. When I say NFT giveaway, all these negative things come to my mind, and I tried to tweet about it in a way. I just felt dirty tweeting about it too. I'm sorry. It feels dirty to tweet about NFT giveaway. But this is legit. No strings attached. OpenSea has blessed us with tons of NFTs on the market as far as WAATSA goes and all this stuff. And the Hedron gods have shined upon everyone by getting people to acquire them and to give them away for free. Again, all you got to do is answer. You got to be the bestest at RH Trivia. We'll start it out. So there's 9 minutes before we skip the first one. If there isn't 50 people in here, we got 29 more people. We need 29 more people in here before we skip the first one. So there's 3 to give away. We'll do the first question at 7 o'clock Pacific, so 9 minutes. 7:15 Pacific, and then 7:30 Pacific. And if there's not 50 people in here by the time we hit 9 minutes, sorry, we started late. Whoops, we started late. You better be telling some people. Then we're gonna skip the first one, and we're just gonna give away 2, 7:15 and 7:30. That's logistics. All you have to do for trivia, there's 3 Richard Hart related questions because we love Richard Hart, right? It's RHMax show. How can I not do Richard Hart trivia? And all you have to do is in the chat, I'll read the question. You type the answer as fast as you can into the chat. The first one in chat with the right answer wins. And then you just DM me on Twitter. DM me. I'll follow you, whatever I need to do. Your address. And if I'm not following you already, at me to follow you and mention winning or whatever. And then send me your youth address, and then I will transfer the NFT to you. And then only one person can win per one. So if you won the first one, you can't win the second one. You can't win the third one. All that stuff. I just want to make sure everyone at least wins one this time. Sharing the love, spread the love, all that stuff. Oh my gosh, I was telling Gifford. Oh, they're just spoiled the prize gift. Damn it, Gifford, get in here, Gifford. God,
what's going on?
I couldn't stop rambling, could I?
It's all good.
I'm gonna finish my sentence. So I was telling Gifford backstage that I just did 24-hour fast, and then I ate a larger than I should have meal. So I was feeling pretty horrible the last 30 minutes. I went for a walk. I'm feeling a little bit better. So we're good now, I guess. If I manage to vomit on screen, I'll just click the stop cam button real quick. And if you hear some noises, it's just me relieving myself. God, I hate to bring the weak sauce, but I'm going to get stronger. It's going to be better. I thought after the intro, it would be better, but I still feel exactly the same. So anyways, let's say hi to the chat real quick. Motley investor, what's happening, man? I think you're in Vegas, and if so, I hope you're there until Wednesday or Thursday because I'd love to meet you and hang out along with all the other hexagons and stuff too. Hedron God Icosa yield paying great. Yeah, it is. So that's another question Gifford will get to at some point too. I want to write it down. Does the Godwell getting involved, does that reduce everyone's stuff? And maybe let's do it real quick. Does that, you have any answer for that?
I mean, yeah. Anytime anybody enters the pool, it dilutes everybody. So It doesn't really matter how big the guy is, really, in relation, like as a percentage. A little guy jumping in dilutes the big guy a little bit, right? But when the big guy jumps in, then it dilutes the other big guys. It dilutes the middle guys. It dilutes the small guys. So it hits everybody equally on a percentage basis.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah. So sorry, everyone. Godwell getting is good long term for stuff. That's a tip of the hat from one of our biggest people. But short term, he is going to eat some of your payouts, which whatever, he deserves it, right? He's pretty cool. From what all of his actions have been cool.
The fact that he's just participating and he's watching the system with the bags that he holds is nothing but great. It's nothing but great. It would be a little short-sighted to have the wind pulled out of your sails, so to speak, because he jumped into that pool and now everybody's a little bit diluted. Like, bigger picture, this is amazing news.
Amazing news. And by the way, everyone, I don't think I need to introduce Gifford. He's been around for a bit. He was killing it last stream. He's the one that brought you the slide deck of all the information that we loved to consume last week, secret messages. apparently those secret messages have been known and maybe in the inner circles of the Telegram for a while too. But Gifford put it on some slides, broke it down for you, did an excellent job. So I don't think I even introduce you anymore. They just know who you are. They just know.
Right on.
I just want to get to people in the chat real quick. Just want to say hey to everyone. Sorry, I'm not saying your names. I'm trying to keep down my dinner. But what's up, Sloth? VPN Sloth. Everyone go, if you're interested in why VPNs are not for everything and why you should be skeptical of them, YouTube for RHMax VPN, and you will figure it out.
That was a good stream.
Thank you. Yes. Should I know Hedron God? Is he like really famous?
Oh yeah. In the Hedron
Sorry about
circles.
that, Hedron God. You sound cool, but I'm sorry. Nice to meet you, Mr. God. It's very, very nice for you to show up and grace us with your presence. I appreciate it. Why is he cool? Stroke his ego just a little bit while I'm going through chat.
Well, Hedron God goes by many names, and I won't say all the other names that Hedron God goes by, but goes by many names. Used to come into the voice chat and use like a robotic voice to like spit knowledge in there, which was awesome.
That's cool.
But early participator, lots of great knowledge, always dropping stuff, and very critical, which I appreciate. I appreciate when people are critical on me because it's the only way I get better. So, what more can you say? Very knowledgeable.
We love knowledgeable people who do good things for the community and price while you're at it. Again, everyone, 3 minutes or else we're skipping the first one. So no pressure, but we need 9 more people in here, or I'm serious. Okay, 5 more people, 45 now. 5 more people, you got 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes probably. Or we have to skip it, and you won't get it today at least. There may be a few to give away in the future, but not today. What do we say to what was it the phrase? What do we say to death? Not today. Is that the one from Game of Thrones?
Mm-hmm.
What do we say to 3 NFTs today if we don't get 7 people in here? And we just went down. Stop leaving. Everyone in the chat, make people stop leaving. They're not pumping your bags. They're cutting a hole in the bottom of your bag of WAATSA NFTs, and they're letting it all fall out. The opposite of pumping the bags. We just keep losing people. You know what? I don't know what it is. They don't want to be greedy. I think that's what they want to do. They want to spare the love. They don't want to be greedy. So that's cool too. Ryan Lopez, welcome. Oh, Sloth is here. Tin Top, Puerto Rico. No, you're not there. Okay, next one, man. Next one. Tindies may be there. You never know, but that'd be cool too. If all the Puerto Ricans, so I assume you're Puerto Rican. I know you're probably not Puerto Rican. All the people in Puerto Rico, please, we should meet up someday because all of you sound cool and you're in Puerto Rico for a reason, and there's probably a good reason to meet you. Oh, Sloth. That's a good one, actually. That's a good one. I like that. God wills MOs to say message. There you go. We like gods of all the coins. We do. Tolek, welcome. Anyone joining from the hashtag NFT giveaway crew? I was like, I feel so bad doing this, but I'm going to do it. Just, because again, I want to make sure everything's legit. No strings attached. You will get these NFTs if you give me a wallet to send them to. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to like, you don't have to subscribe, whatever. If you want to do that stuff, that's cool too. But you're going to get these, and they're not small, by the way. Anybody can get on OpenSea and buy a bunch of like 1 M point ones. No, these are they're like 6, 14, maybe even 27 M point one at some point. You got 1 minute, less than 1 minute, get 2 people in here. I'm serious. Not going to do it. You just lost 4 people. We just lost 4 people. Well, you better get 15 here for the second one because I haven't made a rule on that. I didn't think I'd have to, but not looking good. I don't know how much time you got left. I'm looking at 1 minute counter. You think they're going to make it, GIF? You think?
Oh man, it's hovering there. I don't know.
Cutting it close. Do not risk this. What's up, Serge? He's a resident troll. I remove his comments from time to time, but every once in a while he says something that's like we should talk about that. So welcome, Serge.
Yeah.
Max and GIF, Patrick. It's 7 o'clock. We have 48. Seriously, 48. Come on. These could be worth millions of dollars in the future. I guess anything could be worth millions of dollars in the future. But true DeFi, NFTs. All right. seriously. All right, since we started a little bit late, I'll give you 2 minutes extra. Oh, we hit 50. Oh, you just made me compromise myself.
There it is.
50. All right. You got 30 seconds extra and you did it. Congrats, everyone. All right. First question for trivia. Is everyone ready? Let me scroll down. Scroll down just a little bit. Retweet. Yes, please retweet. Yes, I will. RHMax. Thank you, Serge. Thank you. That's why we let Serge stay. He says some nice things every once in a while. Thank you. I don't know if that's true, but I would like to believe it is, and I'm very honored if Alex from Hedron does respect RHMax. That'd be cool. Hope he also makes it to Vegas. I know he had some family stuff going on. Hopefully he makes it. Love to meet him in person. Jerry, I'm not gonna post it. You're funny though. All right, Crypto Street. We got 56. Good enough for me. The first question again. The rules are: I'm gonna ask the question. You put the answer in chat as quick as you can. Me and Gift's going to check. And whoever gets the correct, he's got access to the correct answers too. Whoever gets the first one correct first, again, just DM me as soon as you do it so you don't forget. DM me, tell me, put your name in there. If you use a different name on YouTube and Twitter, all this stuff, make sure you got the right person. And then, because nobody do that, by the way. Don't try to confuse me. Don't try to mess with me when you didn't have it. And we'll get you your WAATSA NFT. So, first question. Everyone ready? Everyone ready? The first question. This is Richard Hart trivia. What was the other altcoin Richard used to like and talk about before Hex? Before Hex, the other altcoin that Richard used to like and talk about. Now, there's a couple of correct answers in this, but I'll take whichever one comes first. The anticipation. Somebody's got a right answer. Let's see who was first. Not ETH, CFD, not CFD token. I can't. That wasn't a real thing. It turned out not to be a real thing, so I can't quite give you credit. Although that's not a bad guess. ADA, no. Monero. All right, TV Bishop. So the correct answers were either Byteball. I almost want to give it to two people. So anyone, Eagle AI knows. He's been watching Richard for a long time. He used to love Byteball because that was a free claim for Bitcoin people, and it's still kind of cool. It's still a pretty cool technology. But Monero, yeah, he always said if you like privacy, Monero. Bitcoin Private was the dark horse. Bitcoin Private. I don't know if see anybody say Bitcoin Private. Anyone? Motley said Bitball. Close. Yep, it was. You won, TB Bishop. You are the winner, Bishop. Winner of number one. Congrats, everyone. A lot of good guesses in there. Bitcoin, a lot of good guesses. But,
Crypto Sloth had the best guesses, I think. He guessed SHIB and Cell. It was close, man. You're right there.
We got Uniswap.
Doge.
I mean, actually, that's not. It's funny, but it's also. He did tell people to free claim Uniswap, so he did talk about it. But all right, I know. I'm telling you, Motley, look it up. As someone, I challenge anyone to overturn this. If anyone can tell me that he didn't the validity of this question in whatever angle, I may just send you one for free. If you can overturn this, I don't think it's overturnable. I did this trivia. This is the second time I did it. And anyways, but please fact check me, please. I would. You will get an NFT if you fact check me and be correct in a very solid way. You can't just be kind of. It's got to be correct. Eagle AI, shout out to you though. That was a good guess. Byteball. One of the few people said Byteball. All right. So again, TB Bishop, send me a DM on Twitter, and I'll get you set up either tonight or first thing tomorrow. But I will get you set up very soon. AMA, everyone. That means ask questions. But in the meantime, me and Giff are going to go through a few things. Giff, you want to give people just a rundown of I know everyone knows we are all the SA. What does that actually mean though? What is we're all SA? Does that mean we get free coins here and there? What does that mean? And what are the implications between burning NFT? Where's the Icosa come from when you burn NFT? A couple of those things.
Sure, yeah. WAATSA, we are all the SA. Sorry, Sloth. Address is essentially a way that you can play this new kind of game of chicken or King of the Hill or however you want to envision it where the yield that you get from that not only comes from, you know, burnt Hedron, but also you get copies of bonuses that people get from the other staking pools. And the reason and the way you make the connection there is the SA, when the Hedron was first launched, the SA would receive all the amplifier bonuses. So if you claimed in the first week and got a 10x bonus on your Hedron from your hex stakes, when you go to actually mint those coins, you get all your coins, and then the SA gets a copy of that, right? So that's kind of where it all kind of began. And then, you know, you also have the fact that you've got now another financial NFT coming from Alex, which is absolutely amazing. And this NFT, obviously, the longer you hold it, every day it gets those rewards. It gets the Icosa from the previous day's Hedron burn, and then it also gets any bonuses along with that. And the longer you hold it, the more yield you get. If you decide that you wanna claim all that yield, then you have to burn the money printer, aka the WAATSA NFT, and then now that money printer is gone, right? And then now the whole pool just got less diluted. It basically increased everybody else's share of the pool as they receive rewards. So I'm sure at some point we're going to see some ratcheting up of this pool in terms of, you know, we will start seeing, as Icosa price increases, you will start to see a lot of people recognizing that they have a lot of yield that they can now take out and use how they see fit. And as that happens, everybody else gets a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. And I'm starting to foresee a type of snowball effect that we may see. Basically, when we see new hex all-time highs, it's going to be very interesting to see who really is still going to hold on to these WAATSA NFTs, or how many of them people are willing to burn and willing to let go, and how many people are just willing to ride it out. So it's going to be some awesome stuff. And two things on the WAATSA NFTs, I've got some charts on how on how many of those WAATSas have been burned so far. And I've also got some of the clip art. If anybody wants to see the clip art that we are currently stockpiling for all these NFTs, we can go through and look through some of those. That was a little long-winded, sorry.
Okay, no, all good. And is it the 13th of November? Did we ever get a date for this 13th?
Yep.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I knew yesterday we had the 3rd and then the 13th floating around. Okay, 13th. Everyone remember the 13th of November. So again, just to clarify, why is that date important? Like, what should people expect? Why is there going to be a live stream probably of this day? Why is it important?
Well, that day is going to be especially important because we're going to see roughly 2,400 HSIs being they're going to go 90 days delinquent, which makes them all in a position where anybody can liquidate each of those HSIs. And when they click liquidate, then they have to pay back what was initially borrowed on that HSI. And then it opens up a 24-hour bidding period minimum. It could extend further. But as people bid, you're going to see a lot of burning of Hedron, which has a lot of implications in terms of yield to the staking pools for Icosa, as well as just a pump-o-mantle for Hedron itself.
And just one more time for people who weren't listening the first time, where does the Icosa come from when you burn an NFT?
Where does the Icosa come from? Okay, so the Icosa is just basically, it's inflation, right? Because Icosa started with a zero supply. So all new Icosa that comes into existence is just coming in through inflation. And the way it's calculated is you take your previous day burned Hedron divided by the T-share rate, and then that's going to be how much Icosa is getting dropped into the pool. And then based on your percentage of the pool is going to dictate how much yield you get.
Gotcha. All right, AMA time. We'll take a quick break from questions. We got 6 minutes before the next trivia question. Welcome Silver in here as well. Let's see, somebody asked one. Where is the question? Somebody asked one. Here on the Sloth address. Do not listen to Sloth. Do not listen to him. But maybe one day, maybe Sloth will become infamous one day. He'll do such good things for the community. and be so valuable that people are actually starting to getting it mixed up. One day. Iota, you're funny, Hedron God. You're funny. That's the opposite of what he said good things about. That's the opposite. I swear there was a question here. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Trevor Young. Do we know that all 2,400 of these have not made any repayments? I guess that is a contingency. Like, how do we know they're not just going to come off the market, except everyone wanting to pump their own bags, I guess?
Yeah, and I also circled some other important dates. Let me find them here. Okay. So important dates are going to be, the next important day is going to be September 14th. That's when those go 30 days delinquent, right? And we may or may not, depending on the front end that we see at that point in time, we may or may not be able to see those as being 30 days delinquent. And then we'll see another one October 14th, and that'll be the 60-day delinquent. And then obviously the 90-day will be November 13th. So you will see the progress happening, as opposed to just waiting till November 13th, not having any eyeballs on anything that's going on. That's not going to happen. You're going to see these come up delinquent at their 30 and 60-day marks.
And is it in their best interest to let them go up? Like, they borrowed against them 60, 90 days ago, all this stuff. Why wouldn't they just let them go to auction? Is there any reason they wouldn't let them?
There's no way it can't go to auction. The only thing in the code is the auto borrow. That's it. So there is no payment that can be made. Does that make sense? So
so the timers already went down. They already missed the deal. So now they need to So why is there a waiting period? Why is there 60, 90 days to wait for it to go to auction? Like, why isn't it instantly go to auction?
Well, this is basically just using the Hedron platform that was developed by Alex months ago, like back when we first launched in February 25th, right? This was part of the protocol, was allowing hex stakers who make a wrapped hex stake in an HSI, allows them to borrow Hedron from that and then just make payments on it every month, right, to get it paid off. Yeah. So it's a way that you can create your own kind of credit system without any middlemen and that sort of thing, with very reasonable rates, not to mention. So it's just utilizing what was already built. So what happens is, normally, if somebody wants to extract value from their HSI stake and they want to advance all that Hedron up front to sell on the market or do with whatever they want, they would have the option to pay it back so that they don't get liquidated. But they also have the option not to pay it back, and they will get liquidated, right? So when this sells to the contract, all that's happening there is you sell it to the contract, you get Icosa in return. The last action the contract does is it just borrows all the Hedron on each of those HSIs. And that's it. It does nothing more. The Hedron protocol handles everything else. And what I mean by that is it tracks the 30-day delinquent, the 60-day delinquent, and then again the 90-day, and makes all those, puts those all in a position to be liquidated. So there's no other actions after it borrows the Hedron.
Gotcha. Thank you for going through that. That makes a lot more sense now. Yeah. What's up, Randy? All right, we got 1 minute. We'll do a quick question real quick. Will there be any sort of tracker dashboard on how many actually delinquent NFTs are going to the auction? The HSI is going to the auction. Know of anything, GIF?
Actual delinquent NFTs. Oh, so you're talking about the HSIs then, right?
Yeah.
So to track those, yeah. I mean, right now you can go to hedron.pro and you can see HSIs that are currently in delinquency, and then it'll tell you how many days until it is basically in a liquidation status. And then if you wait till that day, then you have a chance to jump in and pay off that loan and start the bidding process. And we will see Alex has confirmed, we will see a more developed, robust app.icosa.pro site where you go and you click under the Hedron tab, and you're going to get a whole lot of cool stuff. He's building subgraphs for all that. And I'm not trying to expect a lot, but he's going to bring the heat on that. It's going to be cool.
He has left us nothing but high expectations, and he's been delivering so far. Great dev, and just mind behind crypto. All right, next trivia question. Is everyone ready? I will get back to your. I know there's a couple questions in the comments, but everyone get ready. Listen real close. The next question is, and this is try to get as accurate time frame as you can. Don't give a date or anything, but like the number of days, months, years, blah blah blah, all that stuff. How long did it take Hex to do its first 100x? How long did it take Hex to do its first 100x? Like how StreamYard just lags before I get all the comments in. Just like one big pile of like 100 comments.
Yeah, it didn't do that last time. This is, oh, there it goes.
Okay, scrolling up. You got 150 days, 600 days, 200 days, 4 more weeks. I'm looking for two different things. Let's see who gets closest to yours. 4 more weeks. 100 days, 150 days. 235. Oh, here we go. I think I just want to double check. It looks like A got it. So the answer is 6 months, and we have 180 days there. So did you see anyone before that? I just see a bunch of 150 days, which is pretty close. But that's the first one I saw that looks like 6 months.
Let's see.
So it's A, and there's Metal Jacket 5.5 right afterwards.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the winner.
Nice. A, you have a very, very interesting name. DM me on Twitter, and I will get you your second NFT. Molly 369 days. Trying so hard. You guys got that's a bunch of 1, 2, 3 days. I love the made up answers. Fuck, I just had deja vu. Nice. 5, 5, 5, 5. 13 months. Not a bad guess. $1. Eagle AI. What are you doing? You were so close to the last one. All right. Yeah, we had 2 or 3 people who got it. Connor also got it. Y'all were just after A. So A, DM me. Heard you too late. A, DM me, and you will win the next and you got to DM me with your name and stuff, because I don't think your name is A on Twitter. I'm just going to take a wild guess. So yes, please reach out. And okay, we got 12 minutes till the next one. Let's see. And then at the end, let's see, you want to, yeah, let's do that real quick. Let's do, how long do you think it'll take you to project your stuff?
Oh, not long.
Not long. Okay, let's do that. You want to share it? We'll just do that. And then we'll just wrap up the last 15 minutes, wrap up by 7:45-ish. Price is that. Answer works sometimes. You guys are funny. You're funny.
All right. So this is just giving you guys a little preview of some of the art that's currently getting uploaded, of what, your WAATSA NFTs are going to look like. So right now we're just going through kind of mass capture. We're just capturing a lot of AI generated art. And then how that's going to get disseminated from there, we're not at that next stage yet. So I don't know, Max, how you want to deal with your giveaway, but with my last giveaway, I spoke to the gentleman. He wants me to hold on to it until like stage 2 or stage 3 of dissemination of like figuring out, how we're going to divvy up the photos and attach them all. I don't know if there's going to be a way that we can do special ones for all the giveaways, but that's something we're looking at. It's not a guarantee. It's no sort of expectation. It's just something that, if you want to hold on to those until a certain date in the future and then pay them out, but it's totally up to you how you want to do it. But there's some pretty cool art going on in here. A lot of high resolution images, whole lot of Icosa Hedrons.
Okay. Are these pictures of, so are these just in the pool to be assigned, or what are these exactly?
Yeah. So we need, I mean, we need a lot of images, right? So we're basically just mass compiling now. We're trying to get as many images into the save Dropbox as we can, and once we get them all in there, then then they'll start with the next process, right? The next process of whatever route they want to go. I'll just put it that way. I don't want to put any expectations out there.
No, beautiful images. Yeah. Is it so are they someone generating these or somebody like actually making them?
Yeah, I mean, some guys in the community, in the Hedron community, got together and they went out and some of them purchased some real high end software that can generate these images. Some of us, like me in particular, I went the cheap route and I just started downloading open source code and just running open source. And I've never done any AI art generation before, so I've been on the struggle bus. I've only contributed a few, but I'm trying to learn the hard way.
It happens. No worries. No worries. No, thanks for showing that. Awesome. Beautiful, beautiful art. I just want to take a second place since I haven't heard from A again yet. Metal Jacket 55. You are the second one, it looks like. And if A doesn't reach out for some reason, give them a few days to reach out. And then Metal Jacket 55, DM me anyways on Twitter just in case. So I have your contact information. Let's see, second place, Metal Jacket 55. Yeah, reach out just in case A doesn't claim it. And then it will go to you just in case. I just haven't heard from A, and I want to make sure somebody gets it here. What am I gonna go to? Nice. Okay. Question. Abra. Is the interest on Hedron borrowed 18%? Yeah. What do you think about that GIF? Read that one.
Yeah, I mean, the way the math actually breaks down on the Hedron website is it takes the global hex APY, right? So we're at like what is it, 38%? So it's basically the 38% divided by 2 and then divided by 30. So it's not compounding interest. It's just simple interest. But that's about that number looks about right.
Okay. Nice. Just want to rapid fire a few questions before we get into it. If Hedron could reach fair price compared to Hex before auction start, would that give the system a little turbo shot? Yeah. What do you think?
So the cool part about the price action of Hedron and leading into the auctions is basically this: like the floor has already been set, and we've already talked about that, right? We've talked about what the minimum amount that people will have to pay to liquidate these HSIs. So that limited amount will not change. However, the fair value of each of those HSIs will, because as the value of if the value of Hedron goes up from now to that 90-day mark, then it's going to require less Hedron to get to fair value market price, which equals less burnt Hedron, right? If it goes down from now, then it's going to equal more burnt Hedron. It doesn't matter which way it goes. Like in my mind, it's like if the price goes up, that's great for Hedron. Like that's what we want to see. So how could that possibly be a negative? And then we're still going to burn a lot of Hedron either way, right? And then if it goes down, well, then we got this counteraction where we're already seeing a supply shock, and we're going to see even more Hedron being burnt because it's not as valuable as it was today, right? So either way it goes is going to be fine. It's a great system, and it's going to be fun to watch.
That's why I'll let you answer the questions. I could talk a little bit around these, but I'll let Giff, because he is he's just murdering these questions. So that's super valuable, man. Thank you for learning all this stuff and like really being an asset to the community. Seriously, like I don't think you get enough thanks for that.
No, it's all good. It's I've got that next man up mentality. If I see an area where I can contribute, that's when I contribute. If I don't, then you don't know about me. Like I just hide.
There you go. I like it. Icosa seems hyperinflationary. Is there a way / plan to reduce the supply and make it more scarce? What about hyperinflationary? But yeah, what do you got on that?
Well, it's an inflationary token that started at 0, right? And the cool part, this is where some people, they struggle to get across this threshold of education. of the inflation, because we all have kind of been taught that inflation is bad. But in terms of Hex, we know inflation is good, because if you're a staker, you get that portion of inflation, thus you're not getting diluted, right? So it's all about obtaining as much of the inflation as possible. Now, when you're talking about like, hey, is this token going to be hyperinflationary? It's like, no, because it stops, like it technically, the mass majority of new coins coming into the system comes to a grinding halt if Icosa is not at this ceiling price. If it drops below that, then we're not going to see a flood of HSIs being sold to the market to get more Icosa, which is where the brunt of the inflation comes from. So you'll see the inflation come to a stop until people decide they want to buy it and they want to stake it, and then they're going to bring it right back up to that price again. So the genius part of it is the inflation is going to be completely controlled by the demand. Like the demand will equal inflation. So if you've got enough demand, then you're going to see more coins come in to meet that demand. And if you don't have a lot of demand, then you're not going to see hardly any coins come into existence, right? So the only scenario where you might be a little nervous about is down the road, if we start losing some of the demand and then we see a bunch of bonuses being paid out, especially the whale bonuses, and then they decide to dump or whatever. Those will be some areas of some volatility in the future to the downside I can see. But I feel that because those are just be momentary blips of inflation, of large amounts of inflation, they will get bought up because it's not constant. It will get bought up again. And so it's just going to continue to play this game of let's let the inflation meet the demand when it's there, and only when it's there.
Okay. I just want to remind everyone that if you're able to get 70 more people in here, I'll give away the fourth one. But the third one and last one coming up in 3 minutes, and then we'll do AMA for about 15 minutes, or until I get tired and give out one of those. Yeah, everyone get ready though. 3 minutes. We'll answer this last one. Jason Luce asked, does Icosa get Hedron yield? I think you might have covered this, but yeah, you want to quickly just respond to that one.
Outside of it, no. So the only time the Icosa pool gets Hedron as yield is when people sell their HSIs to the contract, because you're selling it to the contract, right? And the contract automatically borrows the Hedron. The person who did the selling, they get Icosa in return, right? They don't get Hedron in return. They get Icosa. So that Hedron goes to the staking pools. But if say Hedron's running up and it's trying to find that fair market value, say it just gets to 20% of what the HSI, the value of that HSI is, then you might see people actually want to borrow some money from their HSIs in order to pay some bills or do whatever they want with it. And in those scenarios, when you're borrowing against your HSI stake, your stake stays in your wallet, and then you receive the Hedron. It has nothing to do with the yield in the staking pool.
Gotcha. Yeah, shout out to Max and Broadcast. Also has some really good information about all this stuff. He was on Sloths the other day, and yeah, seems like a very intelligent guy. That Pulse Playa, how do I win? Well, since you sound like you showed up, I will go over it real quick. We are giving the third NFT, WAATSA NFT, away, and I will read a question. You put the answer in the chat, and the first one to give me the answer wins the WAATSA NFT. So, got about 30 seconds. Awesome. Yeah, I got in touch with A. Sorry, Metal Jacket 55 A has responded, and it'll be going to him. But you are now eligible for the third one, sir. So that's congrats on that. You have a chance to win. Jason says thanks. Yeah, awesome. And we're all winners. That's true. We are all knowledge winners. If we just care to tune in and listen, that's a lot of times we can get some good stuff. Is Gifford the Godwell? Legitimate question. I
don't talk about my holdings. I don't talk about my holdings.
Exactly. Would he tell us if he were? He would not. All right. 15 more seconds. What's the question? Yes. Thank you. That is timely. The question's coming up right about now. What year did Richard retire? What year did Richard Hart retire? He said this a million times. I've only found one conflict date, And he said this date more than anything else. What year did he retire? Put it in the chat. All right. Somebody got it. Drew Step. 2003. That is right. So I was actually looking up on hexsearch.io. He did mention 2004 one time, I think, but he mentioned like 2003 a bunch more times. So very confident it's 2003. Anyone, feel free to fact check me. I'd love to be wrong. You'll get an NFT if you can prove otherwise. But I have integrity for these trivia. I try my best. But 2003, a lot of people got it though. Man, Eagle AI. I almost feel like giving you something anyways. You got a lot of right answers. You just weren't number one. So everyone shout out to Eagle AI. At least for now, we'll say this guy's been watching Richard for a long time because he's been right a lot. So shout out to you, Eagle AI. Who else we got? King. I know, so close, everyone. A lot of people got this right. Warden 3, Bugs got it right too. Nice. 2004. Like I said, 2004 was like, I think he actually messed up and said that one time. But Metal Jacket. Oh, you were so close. You almost got it. You were almost. I mean, you weren't nearly close to being the first person to say it, but you did get it right, and you almost won it back after A said it. If it makes you feel any better, A got it wrong. If that helps, but that's okay. Everyone who guessed, within 20 years, that's what he says all the time. Been retired 20 years, blah blah blah. Hey, Boogie, awesome. Connor. Sorry, Connor, you were close. Jawa got it right. Nice. Good answers, everyone. Good answers. He retired at 25, not 2005. That's a good point. Well, maybe people will get that mixed up. That's right. I know you were so close. You said it first. I'm sorry if anyone did say it first. I'm just going by what StreamYard tells me, and I have my fact checker GIF on the other side. So I'm sorry if your packets were faster, but that's just I have to go on the data I have. What's up, Michael Light? Nice to see you, man. If you're not first, you're last. Ricky Bobby.
That's right, Ricky Bobby.
It's a great one. Griffith, you seem like that's one of your favorite movies, right? It's one of mine, at least.
Of course. I'm just a Will Ferrell fan. Like, I'm just a big fan of his. I met him in college and met his son and stuff, and they're just cool. He's a cool cat, man. So, yeah, I like
Will Ferrell. I love Will Ferrell, too. I'm with you. What's the movie with him and Mark Wahlberg? It's really good.
Oh,
The Other Guys.
The Other Guys.
The Other Guys. Anyone hasn't seen The Other Guys? You want a good comedy? Watch that. Fantastic. I'll throw one more alpha comedy movie underrated on you. If you like Seth Rogen, nobody has seen this movie. Observe and Report. Go watch Observe and Report.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Right? Paul Blart Mall came out at the same time, stole all the thunder. Forget Paul Blart Mall. He faded away. Seth Rogen's performance in this, Ray Liotta, all the people. The one girl from what's the movie? The girl in it, she's really good too. Anna Faris. She is hilarious in it too.
Oh, right. Yeah.
She's great in it. Mm-hmm. She's the stuck up, mall lady. Hilarious. Seen a long time ago. Marion is. What's up? Say Marion. Thank you, Evan. Okay, so again, just a few more minutes. Again, I'm feeling a little drained, so I won't stay too long. But I didn't plan on doing another stream, but I'm like, I'm so excited about PulseCon. It's happening, isn't it? Somebody sent them 350K, didn't they? Whoever did that, thank you. Let's talk about, before we wrap up and y'all can still sorry, you were so late. Sorry about that, PulseChain, Hex, block nodes. Until next time on that one. I wanted to talk about, and again, we'll still do AMA. Y'all just ask questions. We'll get to a couple more. But I've seen some people, and I watched David Feeder's video on dodeca. How do you pronounce that? Dodeca, that's right. Yeah. I'm looking at it, and I can't quite. Dodeca. Yeah, that's right. So, and we talked a little bit backstage about this, but like, how do you feel about it? Now that you've seen, have you been seeing payouts and Hex from it? Have you just kind of evaluated it based on, what's on the site? And if you want to pull anything up, feel free to share it too.
Yeah, I mean, I think, see, here's the thing. It's just another one of those taxing protocols, right? Where, if you trade it, if you send it, when you buy it, when you sell it, it charges like taxes. charges fees with that. And those are the fees that are then used for rewards. And that's something we've seen many renditions for what, 7 years now, 6 years now, since it first started. And I mean, my opinion is it's a broken system. But what a lot of other people believe is that it's a broken system until they fix it. Like, they're going to do the rendition that actually works, that is going to make the most sense, right? That's going to actually have longevity to it. And my only thing is I'm not in crypto to be taxed every time I move tokens. Like, that is just not a thing. It's one thing to pay gas. That's the service fee to make things happen in your own kind of bank ecosystem. But to get charged an extra fee on top of that is just not what I'm about when it comes to crypto. So when you're talking about dodeca, yes, it's cool that it is running a basically a buy and burn pumpamental. Like, okay, so
well, yeah, maybe explain like how it's supposed to work, and then so just people get an idea.
So on their site, they talk about 3 main tokenomics. They talk about the holder dividend, which is 3% from every transaction. Every transaction when you're using dodeca will be used to buy hex and distribute it to the holders. And then it has a 1% from every transaction is used to buy dodeca tokens from the buy and burn. And then it'll basically burn. And then 1% will then be used to provide dodeca Uniswap liquidity. And that's the part that gets real funky. I've downloaded the code and I've tried to go through it to find out exactly how it decides which Uniswap pool that it's going to distribute it to. But I'll be honest with you, that's as far as I got. I basically lost interest at that point. So, okay, cool. It buys hex. Sweet. It uses taxation to buy hex and then distribute to the dodeca holders. So, okay, that part works because right on the launch day, I started following wallets and started getting notifications every time that there was a payout to specific wallets. So that's working, but it's the whole system just doesn't, I'm not about it. It's a broken system that has yet to be, no one has found a way to make it work.
At the surface level, I'm just thinking of, you hold a token and then you get paid hex daily. At the surface, that sounds interesting. But yeah, you went into a couple of different angles of, I don't know. I still want to poke. To me, I've read a little bit about it. I've talked to people about it and stuff, but I want to poke more holes in it before I make a decision on yay or nay. It just, because I like the idea of it buying hex, but like you said, there is these like funky parts of, it doesn't seem, I don't know. Yeah, there's something about it. You're like, I don't know if that's going to work, or like, but it is trustless, right? There's no admin keys. Like, it just does the contract does all this stuff, right?
I can't confirm that. That is the word on the street, though, and nobody that I've seen has come out saying that there is actually admin keys or that the code's immutable. I can't really speak too much on that part.
There's a founder video where he has a tattoo of hex.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I thought it was, I really didn't pay attention to it at first, and then I saw a little bit more about it. I was like, oh, I wonder. Like, I really do want to poke holes in it because I don't know. It sounds like something that's hard to get right. It sounds like, maybe some stuff that tried the tax thing before failed. But I don't know. I'd really like to see a scathing review. I'd like to see someone actually go through, study each part, and say why it's going to fail or the risks and stuff like that. Before, I really say, okay, this is not worth the time. But I don't know, just throwing it out there. That's something I was thinking about recently when I'm not thinking about Hedron, Icosa, and Maxi and stuff. I was thinking, dodeca, is that name? That name's not the most marketable name. I'll say that. It doesn't help that that's the name, but if it, I don't know. I try not to say too much about it because when I have an opinion about something, I want to have a strong opinion when I want to talk about it. I don't have a strong opinion about dodeca, but a lot of people in the comments do. I'll say that. Before we wrap up, news, right? Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier too. And that's something. Can you go through? I don't think anyone understands the point system in in the ecosystem. Can you just go through the point system, how it works with with the WAATSA NFT? Because that's what you see on the portal, right? You see how many points you got. I know that represents your share in the stake. Like, how do you, is that like per dollar? Like what, can you just go through that?
The easiest way to look at it is basically this: like for every dollar you put in, you get 1,000,000 points. So if it's a $10, right? If you put in like $10 worth of USDC, then it's gonna be a 10 million point pool.
Gotcha. So it's interesting. And are people, do you want to go to these kind of Godwell? We talked about that a little bit. It seems like there's multiple stakes on Hedron and stuff too. Are people burning NFTs? Like, what do you want to wrap up the last few minutes here? Of like,
oh, sure, yeah.
Whirlwind of what's going on.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm just going to show you kind of like a quick little chart that I've been kind of collecting. Here, I'll go ahead and share that.
Boom.
All right, so this is just a fun little chart that I've been, kind of collecting data, just in Excel and kind of generating charts from it. And you can kind of see here, starting from the beginning here. Well, basically, I started at the last day, right? That you can actually mint the NFTs, because I want to track the record going forward. Once you can no longer be diluted, kind of watch the action that we see. And the pool size is one of it. So every time somebody burns their NFT, then the pool size goes down, right? And so everyone's kind of they now have a bigger share of the yield. So it's kind of interesting to watch that go down. And then you're going to see on the NFT size, this is going to really translate in some cool stuff, I think, down the road, because right now we're only seeing like the very small, tiny NFTs with just a few million points in it, right?
Yeah.
Getting burnt, probably just as like, people testing it out or whatever, or maybe they decided for whatever reason they wanted to burn it. Who knows? But when it's a small NFT gets burnt, you will see the average NFT size go up, right? And then, if somebody comes in and burns a large one at some point in time, we're going to see the average NFT size go down. So it's going to be interesting to see how that chart plays out over time. And then the last one is just like total number of WAATSAs. And this chart will always only either go sideways or down, right? So hopefully, we'll be able to chart some cool stuff from this.
Does that, how do you think these, just give us like a landscape of the next few months, maybe towards the end of the year, what's going to happen in the next couple months, especially, we got the auctions coming up, we got bear market still raging. What are you have any predictions you're pretty confident in that's going to happen in the Icosa Hedron WAATSA ecosystem? You think a ton more stuff's going to be burned after we hit end of the year? Like, what do you think?
I think the cool part about the ecosystem, especially with the HSI buybacks and the auction, is that we're going to see a scenario where the market can pretty much just go sideways. Like the overall market could go sideways, and we can see some awesome fundamentals in this system for Hex, for Hedron, and for Icosa. And one thing that people are starting to forget is that the big auction day or the big burn day, whatever you want to call it, that's just the beginning. That's not like a one and done deal. Like that, we will then every day, I predict, if not every day, nearly every day from then on out, we will see new HSIs hitting the auction that will then burn a ton of Hedron, that will then pay out real good yield in the Icosa staking pools. So
every day after the 90 days?
Yeah.
Wow.
Permanently.
And just like can you just like what does that do? What does it do for the ecosystem? What should we expect from that happening?
I mean, some of these guys, some of the streamer guys who are showing, their yield, and a lot of people on Twitter that are talking about their yield they're getting from their Icosa staking pools and even their Hedron staking pools, really, they're really talking it up. They're like, this is like really excellent yield. Like, it's pretty amazing. The percentages they're throwing around there are pretty outlandish, but even if you go the most conservative route, it's still pretty incredible returns. And I see this becoming a very popular method of staking and earning yield. Not to mention that, not to say that staking Hex is going to be inferior, because it's not. It's always going to be there, and it's going to be the engine that turns over the car and kind of keeps everything running.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that you could go into one of these other pools and you don't have to stake 15 years to get the best yield, right? You can stake 1 year maximum if you have a bag big enough to stake. And then after that 1 year, you're just going to have nothing but flexibility. I think Sloth was poking at me a little bit to bring it up, but I think the champagne, the champagne waterfall method that I kind of coined and started talking about. I'm seeing a lot of on-chain data that suggests a lot of the bigger wallets are kind of following that route. That they're looking at it and they're like, yeah, do I really want just 2 stakes? Do I really want just my Icosa staking pool and my Hedron staking pool? Like, maybe I want to spread this out a little bit. Maybe I want to see what the price action is going to be in 6 months and not be waiting the full year, right? So maybe I will fill up several, dolphin class stakes with utilizing multiple wallets, and then I'll do some sharks, and then I'll put my big bag into one big whale, right? And there's going to be so many different techniques that everybody can utilize this system. There's going to be so many different techniques that people can use, and I think as time goes on, we're going to see a lot of people like kind of posting their strategies on like, what method or what staking strategy like works for them the best. So this system is very sticky. It's going to keep people around. People will always chase yield, and they will always look for the things that can keep their attention on a nearly day-to-day basis. And that's the kind of tokenomics you want in a system, like Hex got me really involved on a nearly day-to-day basis, even if it was just watching the yield come in, right? It's very powerful, and yield in and of itself is a very powerful mechanism. So I don't see this going anywhere but up in terms of popularity.
Did you have a diagram or anything for the champagne deal? Somebody's asking for a map.
Yeah, it's not great. I put it together in like 5 minutes, but I'll
give people an idea. Yeah, if it's convenient.
Let's see. Yeah, I got it. All right. Okay, there it is. You got to click through a lot of buttons to make sure your OPSEC is good. All right, here we go.
Yeah, good idea.
So this is just kind of, now, take it easy on me, chat. This is just something I kind of threw together last minute. But so here we are. We're looking at the waterfall staking method for Icosa Hedron. So this will work for both staking pools. However, I think your strategy for each pool might actually mirror each other, like be polar opposites. But let's just look at the basics real quick. So basically, you got a pile of Icosa or you got a pile of Hedron, right? And depending on how much Hedron or Icosa you got, like, could you fill a 360-day minimum stake length is really the question. And if the answer is yes, then maybe you want to go in and maybe you want to fill in a couple 90 days, do a couple 180 days, do a couple 270 days, and then just have one that kind of fills your 360 day. So that's one strategy, right? Now, another strategy would be like, if maybe you're a smaller guy, right? And so you go to stake your tokens and it says a minimum 90 day. Well, instead of doing a 90 day, what if you did several 30 days, right? Because maybe you want your Hedron available for the auctions, right? Or maybe you just want flexibility. And it would be cool. It's going to be very cool when you have a stake and there's no minimum stake length, but you're still earning yield. Like it's still going, you're still earning yield, but you can end it at any time, right? And that kind of flexibility and freedom, like how is that any different than being completely liquid? Like when people say like in their portfolio, like, oh yeah, I'm always 10% liquid just in case I need to make a move or something, right? Like how is that, if you can sit through 30 days, how is that not liquid in your portfolio while still earning yield? Like I think that is super powerful, right? So you may see a lot of people, you may see people creating a bunch of 90-day or 30-day wallets and just, you know, having that as liquid reserves while they really pile into the 180, 270, and 360 staking pools. So the idea is, you know, you start at the top, and as your once your 30 days filled up, then you create a new wallet and you do a 90-day, then you create a new wallet and do a 180-day, right? And you just kind of work your way down the system.
Nice. Yeah, that's super simple. And I mean, it's some pictures put together, but you don't need a fancy diagram to understand that. Yeah, I love the simplicity of, you know, MetaMask. You see the wallets, see the stake days, you know, how many different wallets you want to put, you know, with a staking method and all that. That makes sense. Very cool. I got a question. We're just gonna do like one or two more questions real quick before we wrap up.
Cool.
Randy says, how do we find the different ranks for Icosa?
The different ranks, like the whale, like the classes.
Yeah, I think that's what he means. Yeah.
So like on the classes, it's just when you go on the Icosa, the app.icosa.pro, the protocol, right? When you go on there and you go to add to create your stake, just play with the numbers a little bit because they'll auto calculate what your minimum stake length will be. And so essentially you just play with the numbers to build yourself up to that stake class that you want to be in, and then you stake that amount, right? And then that makes you that staker class right then and there. And then you can create a new wallet and create a completely different staker class with that new wallet. And then that will correlate to when you go to initially stake, that'll correlate and pair up your minimum stake length and the bonus. However, the bonus doesn't mean anything until you actually are at the end of that stake and you go to withdraw. When you go to withdraw and claim that all that yield and get your principal back, that's when it looks at what your staker class is and tells you if you get a bonus or not. But initially, when you're creating the stake, all that's sitting in stone at that point in time, whenever you create the stake or you're adding to a stake, it just sets the minimum days. And then when you remove that, that looks at any potential bonuses you may receive.
Nice. One last question. How much Hedrons burn per day and where do we find that?
I mean, you could go to the Hedron.pro website and it's got a little chart right there that shows like daily burns and such. That's probably going to be the easiest. And I think you're going to see some really cool tools being built out on the app.icosa.pro. You're going to see some cool tools coming out there that's going to track a lot of this stuff. I have a feeling.
Yes, it's coming out. We are so early for the apps and stuff. It's going to be great.
Yep.
All right, Swear, one last question. I've experimented with borrowing Hedron and staking in the pool. I'm currently exploring that to see if the yield makes sense. Interesting. Yeah, Giff, what do you got on that? That sounds like an interesting question, actually.
So what really is important there is like how much Hedron can you borrow and what is the Hedron price? Because you can absolutely do that. Just keep in mind you're basically taking on a form of leverage at that point, right? Because you know, say you pull out enough Hedron that you go stake it and it makes you a 180-day dolphin, right? And then that's your minimum stake length, and now you're still required to pay back that loan every 30 days or at minimum every 89 days in order to not get liquidated. So what could happen is you could potentially borrow from an HSI, throw it in the staking pool, and then get liquid. Your HSI could get liquidated, or like something happens in life where you just can't come back to it, right, and make a payment, and then it gets liquidated, right? Like life happens. You can't like really foresee exactly, you know, what every day is going to bring in your life, and sometimes you just can't get to a computer, right? So these are just risks, but yeah, absolutely. And I think Crypto Sloth has a lot of fantastic ideas on how you can borrow Hedron and earn yield off your borrow that is greater than the interest rate, right?
Very interesting. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you borrowed a large amount and you had some other Hedron in order to pay the repayments in the meantime, while the other stake was going on, and it finishes and you get that yield, and hopefully it's at a same price or better, that could work out. But there's some ifs going on. I guess that's the leverage part. There's ifs, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, we had strategies, like we developed strategies way back in February when we were first like evaluating like Hedron as a protocol in the borrowing system, where a lot of us were talking about, you know, dual HSI stakes, and a lot of us created like 10x dual HSI stakes. Like if we had 100,000 hex that we wanted to do in an HSI, instead of doing 100,000, we'd do like 50-50. Or I actually had a calculator back then to exactly calculate how much to do in each of those stakes, so that you could borrow against one, and every 30 days you can mint from the other, and that minting from the other would cover your payment every 30 days, right? So the dual hex or HSI staking strategy still works today, except for today you could borrow from the one stake, throw it in the yielding pool, right, the staking pool, and then you still got your first stake to mint from to make your payments. So that, again, the risk is, for whatever reason, you can't get back to your computer, or you can't get in there to make those payments. That's the true risk. And then you get liquidated, right?
Be near a computer where you can clicky buttons with your wallet for repayment. I guess it's the same thing in life. Like pay your bills, pay your bills. Make sure you can pay your bills. Yeah. All right, everyone. I could stay here another hour or two with Giff. He's big brain Galaxy man. Please follow him. Go at Gifford Ware, GIFFORDWEAR. He's been my go-to for the last couple of weeks for Hedron Icosa. You know, him and Sloth have a lot of great ideas, and a lot of people in the community too. So this is it's the start of something beautiful. I think Hedron's only a few months old. Icosa is not even a month old. WAATSA just finished minting all the NFTs. Oh gosh, it's great. It's great. I mean, don't start hating on Hex. Like, oh, I can't get any. Why would I stake Hex anymore? Think about where all this stuff comes from. Don't get into that. But I can't get 100X anymore. Hex will blow your mind. But the community projects around it.
All of this stuff is making Hex super, super rare. It's gonna be so scarce. It's gonna be so scarce. And when we see that next bull cycle come, it's gonna melt faces. It's gonna be absolutely insane. There is not the amount of Hex out there in circulation that there was back in the last bull market, which sounds crazy because it's like, okay, Hex is inflating, right? It inflates to the stakers, right? But a lot of that inflation is pushed way down the road. Like, that inflation has to come into existence by people ending stakes. And most of the inflation is going to the long stakers, right? So I'm telling you, I mean, we're going to see some serious scarcity in Hex, and it's going to melt faces in this next bull market. So don't sleep on Hex. That is my only advice. I love the system. I love Hedron. I love Icosa. I'm bullish on all of it, but do not sleep on Hex is all I'm saying.
That is words from a true Hexagon right there. If anyone says that, they see the new shiny object, they understand all the fundamentals, they're in love with the new thing, but also they know the new thing only exists because the old thing is there. And this is the feedback loop, all this good stuff. I love that, man. I love that. Gifford, I just like +5 your reputation right there for going through and like really getting that message through. Because I think so many people are like, oh, forget Hex. I don't want to stake it because look at that. I staked my Hex forever, and look, I'm an idiot. Like, that's not, you're missing the point. Like, it all goes back to Hex. Never forget that. It all goes back to Hex. So, all right, everyone. Thank you, Steve. Always good to see Steve here too. Sorry again, didn't get to everyone's questions, but yeah, y'all did so great in the chat that just kept scrolling by. I will be in Vegas Wednesday and Thursday as well. Hit me up if you're interested. I got some free swag. I will be sharing a booth if all goes well with Dipcatcher, and also get to pick his brain on stuff. That'd be great. And Gold Key, of course. Yeah, I'm going to try to stream Tuesday. Not Tuesday. Did I say Tuesday? I'll be there Wednesday and Thursday. I'm going to try to stream Wednesday live from the conference, do some interviews with Hexagons, whoever wants to hang out. And yeah, I'll be at the party at Power City party. I got tickets there. If all goes well, I'll also be at the Power City party. Hit me up if you're there as well. Again, go follow Gifford Ware on Twitter. He doesn't have YouTube yet. He has done us the favor of coming on other people's streams so we can spread this beautiful information he has to share. Check out his waterfall strategy if you're interested in that type of thing. And follow me at RHMax, just the way it sounds. And thanks everyone for participating in the trivia. We gave away the 3 NFTs. And next time, do better. Get 150, and I'll give away 4 if we ever do this again. It's actually pretty exhausting. Doing trivia online, giving away questions, going through answers. A lot of work, a lot more work than I thought. So I understand why Gifford only gets away 1 every once in a while. So
yeah, that's right.
He needs a stream channel. Lots of love for you, Gifford. Lots of love for you. Thanks for joining me at short notice. I gave him 12, 18-hour notice. Gifford's like, yeah, we'll do it. Here's the time. We'll make it work.
Absolutely. I'm always sitting on something I need to get off my chest, and you give me the platform to do that. And so I appreciate you too, man. And you have one of my favorite channels, and I'm always watching your streams.
Thank you. I know I've seen you in the chat a few times before we even met. So yeah, I see you too. Appreciate it. Everyone, I'm going to have a rest now. Gifford, maybe get some sleep too, unless you got some more research to do. He does. He has more research to do. But eventually get some sleep. Everyone, like I said, like, subscribe, smash all the buttons. I will follow up with the NFT winners either tonight or tomorrow. Get those things in your wallet. No strings attached again. Just spread the love. Spread the love of WAATSA NFTs. True DeFi NFTs. Amazing stuff. All right, everyone. We are